Welcome to Teed Up Sports Podcast, your new go-to pod for sports, entertainment, culture, and humor. Today we talk about Westbrook's move to the Rockets, NBA season win totals, and our best bets. I'm Brock, and I'm teed up. All right, so as soon as we finished recording our podcast last week, the ironic thing is last week we were talking about where will Westbrook end up. We were talking about the Rockets. We were talking about the Pistons. We were talking about the Heat. We were just pretty much guessing. And as soon as we finished the podcast and as soon as we finished recording, breaking news. The Rockets acquire Russell Westbrook in a trade for Chris Paul and a future first-round pick. And we were like, dude, as soon as, of course it has to happen as soon as we finish recording it. But the Rockets get Russell Westbrook. They basically do a Russell Westbrook for Chris Paul swap, which is something that nobody would have ever seen. It's kind of ironic because the Rockets and the Thunder are definitely rivals. So the fact that the Thunder even made this move and let the Rockets basically have them, that was pretty shocking. And, I mean, what were your guys' initial thoughts on this trade? Because I was just absolutely shocked that this happened.
I think it was a good trade. I feel like they had to do Westbrook justice. They didn't want to just send him anywhere. They had to, do the right thing for him because he put his heart into that team.
They definitely did him a favor.
Yeah, they did him a favor. He put his all into that team. So they're not gonna just send him to some bum ass team.
Yeah, when Paul George got traded, it was pretty clear Westbrook had to get out of there. So they came to an agreement both sides to let Westbrook go. He said he wanted to go. They were looking for some teams to shop him around to. They got him over to the Rockets. That was a little surprising. I honestly didn't expect that. I think the Thunder are ready for rebuild mode. So they just took on Chris Paul. They said whatever. They're trying to rebuild now. They know they're terrible. So good trade. That's going to make the Rockets a threat.
I mean, the Thunder
potentially. It's a hit or miss.
No, we'll get into that. Yeah. So we got the NBA season win total soon. We're going to talk about the Rockets as one of those teams. Their season win total is 51.5, even with the Westbrook news, which is, we're going to have to get into that. It's a little crazy. But, I mean, what does this say about Chris Paul, though? Because there was years, if you just look 2 years ago, we were all saying Chris Paul was better than Westbrook. You know what I mean? Well, not Westbrook's MVP season, but a little bit before that, a little bit even after that.
We were saying he's a better point guard than Westbrook.
We were all saying that for so long. And the Rockets, now here they are, willingly giving up Chris Paul and another asset to get Russell Westbrook. And the Thunder are kind of doing the Rockets a favor by doing so. And now the Thunder are kind of stuck with Chris Paul. They kind of have to get rid of him too. But no one's even openly saying it. So how did Chris Paul go from point guard and all these things we used to say, and he's one of the best PGs of all time, not all time, but he was one of the great PGs in the game, and now he's kind of almost useless. This is insane.
All right, so first I think Chris Paul, he wasn't meant for that system. Their system, he doesn't work in that system.
Facts.
Their system is to go and jack up threes. Chris Paul's a get to the cut kind of point guard and shit. He was jacking up threes and it was working the year he got hurt against the Warriors. But after that, it was kind of slow. And, all the drama that happened. Well, I think this might be a hot take, but I think Chris Paul should retire next year. After next season, I think he should.
It's a pretty hot take.
Bro, I think he should give them. He
still has that contract. I don't think he can retire.
No, he can't. But, bro, he should give him 1 or 2 years. If he gets traded, whatever. I think he should retire within the next 2 to 3 years. That's what I'm saying, bro. Chris Paul, it hurts to say, but he's done. I think he's done.
I just think Chris Paul's getting older, and as he's getting older and he got put into that system with the Rockets, it's just jacking up threes. That's really not his game. He's going to get that mid-range off. He's going to try to look for the open man, get to the cup. And they kind of just want you to go up 7 seconds, pop that three, and that's not really what Chris Paul's about. So I don't know, man. I think just his age is what's really slowing him down as well. He's a shorter guy. He's got to do more. He's doing a lot for the Clippers back when he was on there. The Thunder got him now. They were saying, I was reading something saying that they're pretty much said they're open to keeping him or trading him, whatever Chris Paul really wants. So they said if Chris Paul wants to stay, they'll gladly keep him, and if he wants to leave, they'll let him go. And I think he's probably going to ask for a trade. Chris Paul doesn't want to be on the Thunder. Yeah. Oklahoma City, it's a bad destination, I feel like. Why would he want to be there?
He doesn't even look right.
And he doesn't want to. I'm pretty sure he still wants to win. He didn't get a ring yet. He definitely wants to get a chance.
It's slow for that ring.
I'm hearing a lot of talk about the Lakers. I don't know how that's going to get pulled off. But he definitely does not want to be in Oklahoma City. So I see him requesting a trade very soon, before the season even starts.
The funniest shit was, so Anthony Davis, he had to change his number. So LeBron gifted Anthony Davis the number 23, right? Obviously that couldn't go through in the deal with Nike, so LeBron has to go back to number 23, and Anthony Davis had to get a new number. Anthony Davis took 3, and they were saying that he took 3 just so Chris Paul doesn't even think about coming there.
Nah,
Which is that's so disrespectful.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I think Anthony Davis did say that was like his childhood number. Like,
Yeah,
when he was,
like
in
elementary school.
Yeah, when he was like high school or something, or middle school, he won number 3. That's the only thing that could come to his head because he really wanted 23.
Yeah,
Actually,
right. And
I did.
number 3, but I'm not gonna get mad about it.
I wanted to see him in 23 though.
yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Put Brown back in at 6. That would have been hard.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I mean, if you bought a LeBron jersey with 23, at least you didn't completely lose your money.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
That might have been a novelty though. Like thinking about it when he changed his number.
yeah, you could always get the fake jerseys that look real. But back to what Malik was saying, how Chris Paul didn't really fit in the system. I mean, you could definitely argue that Russell Westbrook doesn't fit in that system either. You know, it's a lot of ISO ball. Westbrook isn't, you know, as much as we talk about Westbrook, he's not a good ISO player in my eyes. I mean, he does play ISO from time to time. He's kind of a good point guard where he passes to a big. I think him and Capella will mesh well. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, you got Westbrook at the top of the key or in the corner. Harden kicks it out to him. I don't trust him making those shots from 3. I think he will fit just because of the chemistry with him and Harden. They'll make it work. I mean, when you have talent, you always want to make it work. This is probably one of Westbrook's last prime years. You know, they're going for the home run here, trying to finally win a championship. But you could definitely argue Westbrook doesn't fit any better than Chris Paul did. And if anything, Chris Paul might have fit even better because at least he could move the rock around.
I definitely think Chris Paul fits a little better than Westbrook. I'm not going to lie. I don't think Westbrook fits in any system. I feel like he's the type of...
He fits in the Thunder system.
That was like his
system.
like, yeah, he did like his
system.
own shit. I don't think he fits in any system. Like, he was more of a... It's going to sound like hate, but he was just so selfish that, like... let's not get into that.
Last year was
just
just a bad year for Westbrook. Like,
Bro, here we go with the assists, bro. Those fake ass, bro. All the rebound.
The rebounds are fake. I'm not.
The rebounds
lie.
are fake, bro. Steven
The
Adams.
rebounds are
There were
fake.
plays where
Assists
Steven Adams would move away and let Westbrook get that shit. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because he wants him to get that triple double, bro. Like, you don't have to do all that.
The assists are legit. You can't argue the assists.
The assists, yeah,
You can't
they are.
fake an
Assists
assist.
were like drop offs.
That's what I'm saying. Most of the
That's
assists
an
were like,
assist.
Yeah,
it
but
is,
still,
yeah. But it's not like he was looking
He
for the
wasn't
open
creating,
guy.
no,
Yeah,
You're not like
he was
Chris
just
Paul.
passing, tossing that shit off. Here, get the bucket. Like,
No, I mean, I respect Russell Westbrook, though. You know, the video he said, kind of saying his goodbye to Oklahoma City. It's kind of one of those things where I'm sure Westbrook, like, feels bad trying to leave Oklahoma City, especially he's going to Houston. And like I said before, they're rivals. You know, like, if you're a Thunder fan, you can't be happy about him going to the Rockets. And if you're a Rockets fan, you're probably talking so much shit about Westbrook. Like, I have a lot of, like, Rockets fans on Twitter. Rockets fans on Twitter were flaming Westbrook all the time. Any chance they had, they would talk shit about this guy. And now he's on their team. Like, you can't take that stuff away. You can't just be optimistic. You obviously still believe some of those things. So it was a weird trade, but I mean, I got nothing but respect for Russ. You know, we commented on his goodbye Oklahoma City thing. Got a couple likes. We were pretty proud of that. But I mean, you got to respect Russell Westbrook for even like going through with this decision, because he could easily just stayed with Oklahoma City and said, you know, I want to be loyal, but you know, he wants to make a move, and he probably really wants a championship now after being so close numerous times.
I think Westbrook might. This is really a hit or miss, but I think he might actually help the system for the Rockets, because we see them, they live and die by the 3, and a lot of times they die by the 3. A lot of times you'll watch the Rockets, especially come playoff time, they'll shoot some threes, they'll miss, and they'll keep shooting them, and they'll keep missing. They won't even try to change up the pace at all. Westbrook, that's a guy who wants to get into the paint. He's really fierce. He's ferocious, to be honest, so he might actually go ahead and down the stretch and get the ball in the paint and help change the flow of the game a little bit. So I think Westbrook might be a good addition actually to the team.
I just don't want him shooting a lot of threes.
I don't think he's going to be shooting a lot of
Westbrook?
threes.
But if he's working on it and he gets better, I mean,
Open
hey.
threes, he's going to be open, so I think he'll definitely take them. And there was times we've seen where he could hit the open threes last season, but he's got to be more consistent.
Yeah, it's kind of a pull-up three that's been his like real weakness, because
Yeah.
he has like this moment where he's just dribbling, he stops, you know what's coming next, and it's just brick. You know what I mean? It's just
every time.
it's just a crazy shot. He doesn't really need to be doing that. So I mean, we're gonna have to see. You know, two ball dominant guards, Harden and Westbrook. We haven't seen them paired up in
Ages.
5-6
Yeah.
years or whatever, however long it's been, maybe even 7. It's been a long time since we've seen these guys paired up. The Rockets still got that good roster. They didn't give up Eric Gordon or anything. You know, we were thinking all offseason that Clint Capella was gone, or they were going to trade Eric Gordon or something, or even PJ Tucker. They were rumored, but all those guys are running it back. And you know, you could argue they made finally made a upgrade, getting rid of Chris Paul, adding Westbrook. So that's a good situation for them. We're going to keep an eye on the Rockets, and we're going to talk about their over/under in a little bit. But Ty, what do you think about Ben Simmons' contract? So he got a 5-year extension for $170 million. So they basically have everybody on the Sixers for a long period of time. So they've got their roster down pat for a while. But how do you feel about your boy Ben securing the bag?
I think with a player like Ben Simmons, you got to pay him. If you don't pay him, he's gonna walk. This is pretty much a big talent that we have here. He's only getting better. He's super young. So listen, $170 million. I think it was worth it. You got to pay Ben Simmons.
I feel like this.
Ben Simmons got to learn how to shoot. That's what he has to do.
Ben Simmons could do so much more. Like,
no,
all right,
you're right.
He can't shoot right now. But that's eventually going to come. That's really more of a confidence issue.
You would hope so. It's not always how it is.
It's not even so much that he really can't shoot. It's just something in his head. Like, yo, he's not shooting in the game. He's afraid to miss almost.
He just can't shoot.
No,
You've never seen Ben Simmons like in the warm up shooting. Like he knocks him down. He just won't shoot him in the game.
Wide open.
Everyone does that.
He won't shoot him in the game though.
It's warm up. You're not in the game.
It's a confidence issue. Like,
no,
I see what
everyone
you're
shoots
saying.
those shots in warm ups. Like even like big men who can't shoot will be draining. Kevon Looney was draining threes in warm ups every game.
Yeah, but that's the Warriors. You're gonna shoot the threes on the
Warriors.
But
Kevon Looney,
yeah. I mean, any other team, you're watching them in the warm-ups, their center's not shooting threes. Robin Lopez is not shooting threes. Like, think about it.
He actually shot a couple threes.
Yeah, I've seen him hit some threes. I've seen him hit some threes.
It's just getting, like, the excuse time is up. Like,
yeah.
He's not shooting this year, like, it's over. He's not going to shoot.
You got an excellent defender. He can get the ball to the cup.
He's a good defender.
Rebound. He can pass. He can do all these. The only issue I don't like with Ben Simmons is obviously he can't shoot, but I think him and Embiid probably aren't too much of a good combo. So that's the only thing I say with this 5-year.
I kind of like him.
I like them, but like if one of them isn't going to learn how to shoot really well, then that's actually a problem for them. Yeah. Because like they both like the paint a lot. Embiid wants to be in the paint. Ben Simmons has to go to the paint. Horford can stretch it. So that's just like that's a little issue right there. But a lot of guards come in and they can't shoot off rip. You know, Jason Kidd. Magic. There's players that really aren't that good. LeBron came in, he wasn't that good of a shooter. The only difference between them, they were shooting. Exactly, they were shooting it. Confidence issue, like I said. So I think Ben eventually is going to get over his hump, and if he doesn't, that's just sad. But he's an all-star level player, and he should definitely get over it.
I think this contract has a chance to be like Wiggins-esque because they gave Wiggins a contract.
Sheesh, that's cap.
Well, I mean, look at Wiggins. Wiggins averaged like 23. He had a pretty good year. They were looking at him as the future of Minnesota, and they gave him a very similar extension just because they were like, hey, you know, why not? But I mean, you could like I'm gonna get to this though. Ben Simmons has some playoff success, not a lot by any means, but at least they win in the first round.
This guy's giving you triple doubles too. You know, he does all that.
But, I mean, I like triple doubles, but not. Yeah. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna give a guy 5 years for that. I think Ben Simmons this contract's just iffy, you know. I would have gave him another year, seen how it gone. They're paying everybody right now, you know. Tobias is getting paid, Ben's getting paid. I'm pretty sure Embiid's getting paid. Like they've got a lot of money on the books. They just paid Al Horford. I don't know if Ben's young, like you said, and he is the future of the franchise. They're gonna pay him no matter what. But I just think this contract could backfire at some point. But I mean, hey, the cap's only gonna go up. People are going to be getting paid more than this in 2 years or 3 years, so this could be a steal. I'm just saying this kind of reminds me of the Wiggins contract, and if Ben starts declining or just he still can't figure out the shooting thing, it's definitely going to be a little scary.
But then again, we can all agree that Ben right now is better than Wiggins. Like when Wiggins was bugging out and they gave him that contract, Ben is playing better than Wiggins.
When Wiggins was playing good,
he was playing good, but Ben is playing better. So like.
But there was
it does remind. I can see what you're saying. Like it does remind me of that too. But I feel like Ben, he's just a bigger impact than Wiggins. Like Wiggins, he really doesn't care about basketball anymore.
Wiggins had a lot of hype though. You got to remember that. We were talking about this in our group chat. Andrew Wiggins, when he came into the league, they were calling him Canadian Jordan. They were like he was really supposed to be something special. And with Ben, it was the same thing. They were calling him the next LeBron. But, like, have we seen these kind of things? Yeah, obviously, it's hard to compare someone to LeBron. Obviously, it's impossible to compare someone to Jordan.
Yeah.
But, you know, these guys were hyped in college. You got to kind of look at it from what they've done in the NBA thus far. And Ben, right now, he's a good point guard. He's tall. He's a great defender. I really like his defense. I think he's underrated defensively. But what is he going to do for you scoring the basketball? And, like, yeah, he gets other guys involved, but, you know, you're basically paying, like, a tall Rondo at this point. That's all we've seen, you know what I mean? Like, a tall passer.
He's doing his job. We'll say that.
Yeah, he's doing his job. But if this is a superstar contract, you want to see superstar results. So
it's coming.
I like Ben. I'm not a Ben hater by any means. I just he to me just a little quick on the extension. I would give it to him after this year. If they repeat what they did last year. You know what I mean? Because in the playoffs, Ben was kind of iffy almost.
true,
The
true.
Nets series, it took him a couple games to like warm up and really start doing his thing.
Yeah, and then he kind of went a little missing in that Raptors.
The Raptors,
one.
yeah.
Well, they put Kawhi on Ben a couple times, which was
Not fair type shit,
Which I
yeah.
thought it was interesting on why they would do that, but it ended up working out.
They wanted Kawhi to help out.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
it ended up
leave
working
him
out.
on the wing. Because I watched a couple games last season too where they had where LeBron was on Ben Simmons, and he would just like be deep in the paint. Ben would be at three. He's like trying to have him to
I do
shoot it, and he
remember
would
that.
not shoot it.
I remember that too.
And
Yeah,
there was one, and at one point in the game, Ben Simmons took him to the post, and he hit like a post fade, and LeBron was like, "Bro, come on!" It went in. It was money. He's like, "Dude,
It's not gonna happen again.
he's like,
yeah.
I can't believe that went in." Then
I can't believe that one
the
in.
rest of the game just kept leaving him. That's LeBron's guy too. The rest of the game just kept leaving him open. He wasn't shooting it, so that clusters up the paint, gives LeBron the ability to help out other players. So I think that's what they did with the Kawhi situation.
Let's get into the over-under. So finally, before there was over-unders out, but there was betting limits on them. You couldn't put a lot of money on them. And because of all the free agency moves still going on, you were kind of gambling on who players would get. But now that the free agency is basically solidified, like even Marcus Morris is gone. Like last podcast, we said we're still waiting on Marcus Morris. He ended up opting out of the Spurs deal, signing with the Knicks for a year. So he's kind of betting on himself there. But we got the official NBA over-unders for every team. So we're going to be doing 3 a week until we get through with all the teams. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to have some bad teams, some good teams. But we're starting off right away with some hot teams. Let's start off with the LA Clippers. 55.5 is the over-under. This is the most hyped team, obviously.
Still.
This team and the Lakers are probably the two talks of the NBA right now. 55.5. You guys think that's high? You going over-under with this one?
I'm going with over.
Over 100%.
Yeah, I don't. Why would you go under?
The Clippers won 48 games last season under Doc Rivers, Lou Will, Shamet, Gallinari, Montrezl Harrell. They brought back Patrick Beverley. They brought back all those players except Gallinari
and Shai.
And Shai, that's my guy, but like, come on, they'll be fine. They added Kawhi Leonard
And PG.
and Paul George. So they had 48 last season. What's that? 7 more wins. You telling me they can't get that much more wins with these two elite players? Bring back pretty much the same squad from last season. Bring in 2 players that's gonna fit their system, can shoot threes, and play defense. Under Doc Rivers, the Clippers are gonna be problem. They might get 60 wins next season.
No, I definitely agree. I got the over on this one, too. If this was like 58.5, 59.5, I would consider it taking under. I definitely see them winning like 57 games, though. Or maybe they don't break 60, but they get, in that stratosphere. The thing with this, the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is the load management. And we saw what Kawhi did last year. He didn't even really play a lot of games for the Raptors. Obviously, the Raptors were still very good without him, just because, they were still winning regular season games and anybody could. But, this Clippers team is just dangerous in every aspect. I think their defense is going to be kind of crazy in a regular season component. Like, they're gonna win games strictly off their defense. They have two superstars. They have really good role players. Their bench is deep. Doc Rivers, I used to not really like Doc Rivers, but last year he kind of proved himself as a coach to me, winning with such little talent and just, making the playoffs, even making noise in the playoffs against the Warriors. This team's dangerous. I think Vegas kind of went really low on this total. They should have at least made it 57, 58, and then I'd consider the under just because of the load management. I'm sure they're not going to play Paul George and Kawhi 70-plus games. But, 55.5, I got them winning like 57, 58 games easily. It would take an injury for this to go wrong.
This is a little crazy. Is PG? He had his surgery already?
Yeah,
like he's coming back
fine,
as soon as the season.
Yeah,
This is a little.
fine.
Yeah, it's a little skeptical.
The chemistry might take a while to go up, but for the most part, they're gonna figure it out. You know what I mean? And it might start off slow, but I wouldn't even worry about it. They're gonna do their thing, and I wouldn't even have an issue with it.
Overall, the Clippers' defense is just bonkers. Got a Patrick Beverley. Although there's been a lot of talk of him being an overrated defender, he's still a lockdown defender. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. This is going to be crazy. I don't think they're going to run Harrell in the starting lineup. It might be Zubac. I was hearing a lot about that. They got Zubac back, so they're going to bring in him.
Yeah, Zubac signed cheap. Dirt cheap.
Mm-hmm. And then they got Montrezl Harrell and Lou off the bench. This team is honestly just crazy.
Yeah, I'm feeling this team a
This
lot.
is the 2K team. For next season, you're going to be seeing a lot of that.
Pretty much.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Let's get into the Jazz, though. So the Jazz, we just talked so much about the Clippers, right? The Jazz are only 3 wins below them, 52.5 over under. And me personally, I got to go under on this one.
It's crazy.
Jazz are cool. They made a lot of moves. They're probably a really good defensive team. you're basically betting, are they going to make the next step here? And I just don't see it. The reason being, last year they won 50 games, and yeah, they added Mike Conley. To me, this team is just not fit for the modern NBA. They've always struggled with shooting the ball. Yeah, they got some significant upgrades, like I said, with the Mike Conley. But at the same time, they have a couple flaws. One of them is always their bench. Their bench is always not really that productive. Donovan Mitchell, he's a good player. He's an all-star. He's not a superstar, though, and he can't really lead this team to get 55 wins by himself. Mike Conley's a good point guard. I expect him to do good things.
He's a great point guard.
No, he's a good point.
He's a great point guard.
He's a slightly above average point guard in my eyes.
Which is great.
That's not great. That's all right. Great, yeah, in terms of like your average person.
Yeah,
but, yeah, bro. Come on,
bro. So who's a great point guard?
Who's a good point guard? Name another good point guard.
I would say Kyrie's a great point guard.
All right, name another good point guard.
A good point guard?
Good. Like average point. Who?
Jamal Murray.
Mike Conley's better than Jamal Murray.
Mike Conley's better than Jamal Murray.
I think Jamal Murray's better than Mike Conley.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know if Jamal Murray's
I like Jamal
good.
Murray.
He might be a little
I
great.
like Jamal Murray, but Mike Conley's better than
Yes,
Jamal
he
Murray.
is.
Mike Conley is really yeah, dude.
Bro, all I got to say is they won 50 games last year. They're 52 and a half next year. They added Mike Conley. You're saying, bro, Ricky Rubio? The West did get better.
Sucks, but their competition got better. Like Mike Conley,
you're right.
Mike Conley over Ricky Rubio, he's probably like 4 games at least in regular season wins. Mike Conley's also injury prone. You can't forget that too.
You can also look at the growth too of Donovan Mitchell. He's probably only going to get better.
If Donovan Mitchell could become like a real superstar, maybe this team gets a whole lot better. Just don't really see it, to be quite honest. I don't think that he's going to win them games by himself. He's got to average like 26. You know what I mean? He's got to really turn up and have like an MVP candidate season to do something like that.
You can do it, Donovan. Hop on the podcast. Actually, you can do it.
We're a little mad at Donovan Mitchell. So he was having a Q&A, and we tweeted him about 17 times, different Twitter accounts. We just said, hey, because Donovan Mitchell's from Greenwich, which isn't too far from us. We're kind of based in like Stanford and Norwalk area. But I mean, Donovan Mitchell didn't even tweet us back. Didn't even favorite the tweet.
He was tweeting back dumb questions. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite movie?
They were like, oh, how do you feel about the coach?
Yeah,
this random coach from college. Like,
we were asking real questions, and he just wasn't fucking with it.
We said, hey, when are you gonna come to Greenwich? When are you gonna support the kids in Greenwich? When are you gonna come to our charity event in Greenwich? We were just saying anything, and he wasn't having it. So Donovan Mitchell, you better win MVP or I'm going to get on your ass next podcast. Believe that.
I mean, Mike Conley's also upgrading defense over Ricky Rubio. Mike Conley's just better than Ricky Rubio in all aspects.
Every aspect.
Yeah, that's not the debate here, though.
The Jazz are going to be better. I got them over, what is it, 51?
52 and a half.
They won 50 last season. All they got to do is win 3 more games.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
They're coming back with generally the same squad, so they got that chemistry again together. They got Michael Conley upgrade. Donovan Mitchell's going to be getting better. Might see an improvement from Rudy Gobert.
I
think they're gonna be over.
I'm feeling this under a lot. This team just kind of look. They're cool. They'll be a threat. I don't want to play this team in the playoffs. They're a good defensive team. You know what I mean? They're gonna be interesting. It's Utah. You know what I mean? They never have success. They do good from time to time, but this is a high over under. I think a lot of people, like as you see with Ty and Malik, they're feeling the over just because of Mike Conley, but Mike Conley's not good enough to bring you that, you know what I mean? He's like an Eric Bledsoe-esque player.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
Didn't Mike Conley average like 20 and 8 or something like that?
Still compared him to Eric Bledsoe.
Those are great numbers.
Bledsoe's like not that much worse than Conley. Not as much as you think.
Bledsoe stinks.
Dude compared Mike Conley to Eric Bledsoe.
The Bucks could have got Mike Conley or Eric Bledsoe, and they chose Bledsoe, so.
Because they don't need Mike Conley. They don't.
If the Bucks had Mike Conley, they probably would have won.
Yeah.
Against the Raptors. They definitely would have won, actually. Not even probably. They definitely would have won.
You're overrating Mike Conley a little bit.
Like, bro, Bledsoe is horrible.
Bledsoe's bad. I hate Bledsoe. He's one of my least favorite point guards, but he's not. Hey, he still gets the job done from time to time. First team all defense. Let's go to Houston. Rockets 51.5.
Yeah,
we had to talk about this today with the Westbrook news. I love this over. Absolutely love it. We see what the Thunder do, with basically just Westbrook. Westbrook's going to win you regular season games. We're not talking about the playoffs here. We're not talking about his legacy. We're not talking anything. We're talking strictly NBA season win totals over under. Westbrook's going to win you games. James Harden's going to win you games. As long as these guys aren't injured, they could win 53 games, 55 games. Shit, if they have a really good year,
like
we see
58, 59.
If Harden has MVP year or Westbrook has MVP year,
it's almost 60.
It's almost 60,
yeah.
like for sure. they basically, with Chris Paul out and other guys out too in the beginning of the season, they still almost scraped this win total. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm taking the over here. I really like this one. The shooting, Mike D'Antoni's gonna win. Like, this is just they're a good regular season team. The playoffs is where it gets a little rocky, but I like this over a lot.
No.
Yeah, I'm feeling this heavy. I feel like this is a little like too easy. 51.5. Like Westbrook and Harden, they're both gonna bug out. Even if they don't have the chemistry that we saw from OKC, they're still both amazing players in the game.
And their bench is good.
Their bench is amazing. Yeah.
They got Austin Rivers still.
The Rockets are going to be over. Like that's actually that's less. That over is less than what wins they had last season. They had 53 wins last season. You'd assume that they really only are going to get better with the upgrade in Westbrook. I don't see how they don't get over 51.5 wins. Like, that's literally
Injuries.
Crazy.
That's it. That's really
Yeah,
I mean,
injuries is the only thing holding
chemistry
back.
issues.
If you can bet this, cash on this now. To be honest, if you want to make some money towards the end of the NBA season, just get this now.
I think this might go up. This is one of those win totals that we're gonna see Vegas kind of adjust to this one because
They're gonna come to their senses.
yeah, I mean if they win 51 or they win 50 on the dot, obviously it doesn't cash the bet, but that's still close enough to where this is too risky and too close of a bet. But one thing I do want to say with all these win totals is the reason they're so, quote unquote low. The West is stacked right now. There's no easy wins against anybody. Like the worst teams that I could think of, like the Kings, even the Mavericks, the Pelicans, those are all still good teams. They're still gonna put up a fight against you on any given night. I think
Grizzlies is probably the worst team in the West right now.
but
Maybe
hey,
the Suns, I guess.
they got John Morant, they got Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah. Suns are the worst. Yeah, I forgot about
But even the Suns got like role players, and they still got a little thing going on. Devin Booker, any given night could do good. DeAndre Ayton's taking another step. Like there's no there's no easy free win team. You know what I mean? In the East last year, the Knicks were basically a free win. The Knicks were a D League team. You know what I mean in the NBA, and like that's just being honest. Like there's teams in the NBA where there were literally free wins. You know what I mean? In the West right now, there's no free win.
Bad.
Suns aren't a free win though.
Suns are bad.
They're not a free win.
They're not a
given night.
What did they do? How did they upgrade from last season? Like
they're really they're a free win, bro.
Not really. I mean, Devin Booker was
21 wins.
Well, Devin Booker was hurt for a lot of last year.
I forgot about that.
They got Cam Johnson from UNC. He was a senior in UNC, so I expect him to come in and score 15, 16 a night. Their bench got a little bit deeper. I mean, they're still gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
I watched the Suns last season lose to the Nets badly. It was like a day or two before. It was 2 days before Christmas. They played the Nets at the Barclays Center. I was there.
Was Devin playing? Probably
Devin
not.
was playing.
Really?
Like, they lost.
And that's where
bad.
they're a good team though.
They had their defenses was shockingly bad. I was like, this is crazy. The Nets would come down. They were just scoring with ease, like bums. Like Shabazz Napier was scoring. I was just in shock. Yeah, the Suns are horrible. I don't know.
Speaking of horrible, let's talk about these Madden ratings, man. So Madden made four. I guess it's like a 99 overall group. They did 4 people. They did like a little mural in Cali. This 99 rating. Me and Malik were kind of upset about this.
It's horrible.
So these are these are the only 99 players in Madden right now. DeAndre Hopkins, Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, and Bobby Wagner. The only one who deserves a 99 overall in my opinion is Aaron Donald. That's it.
No.
So how do you feel about this list?
All right. First of all, this list is horrible. This almost makes me want to not buy Madden 20 just because why would you give Hopkins a 99? Bobby Wagner, bro? They gave Bobby Wagner a 99?
That was so weird to me that I just didn't even bother.
Like, bro, I thought that was fake. All right, but Hopkins, let's get this straight. He's
obviously a great receiver. He's a great receiver.
He's top 5 in the game.
Yeah, he's
top 5 receivers. And I get they're basing off of last season.
He's 5 though.
Last season,
4 or 5.
Yeah, but that's like overall. Last season, Hopkins, he might have had the best overall season as a receiver. Hill had the best explosive season. Odell did what Odell does. He was hurt, but he did his thing.
Julio Jones was kind of hurt too.
Julio, the whole Falcons team got hurt. That kind of fucked everything up.
AB was balling out too. But they just
AB was going through a lot of shit though. He wasn't playing some he was about to take me out. He was being a little drama queen. They're not gonna give him a 99. So Hopkins, I can see why they gave Hopkins a 99. Khalil Mack, 98. 99 is pushing it, but
99 is a little.
I'll give him
crazy.
a 97, maybe 96. He did bring a huge impact to that team. that defense is amazing without him. Let's like get that straight. But he did bring he brought the if to that team. Like he just pushed.
I don't have a problem with Khalil Mack being 99.
Yeah, I don't.
Like, that's fine. I get it. You know
Donald,
what I mean? He's the face of the league.
We don't even need to talk about Donald. He's a 99, no doubt about it. And Bobby Wagner, let's not even like mention that name.
That was
again.
just like
let's not even
the Bobby
talk about
Wagner
that.
thing was just like mind-boggling to me. Like why would Bobby Wagner be a 99 overall?
Shit, I really don't know. I was trying so hard to see why they would do that. I don't know.
Just like what? That was so like random.
He must have paid someone.
Nah,
He must have paid someone.
Yeah, I mean, at least the QB ratings are pretty on point. I know Mahomes had a 97, right?
Mahomes a 97.
He's a cover athlete.
Breeze 92. Luck is a 94, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Rivers 95.
So to me, those are accurate. But like this 90,
This
maybe they're just
99
doing it for promotion. But like
That's what I
They'll get
think.
adjusted during the season.
They will,
They
but
will, but, like,
starting them off at a 99, bro.
Like, bro, you're gonna play the Texans and DeAndre Hopkins is just gonna play like Randy Moss. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's
He
a
doesn't
little
do-
crazy.
Like, he's not Randy Moss.
And
you know what I
Bobby
mean?
Wagner, bro, when you play with the Seahawks, bro.
Oh, the Seahawks
Bro, he's
are,
gonna be
the
doing.
Seahawks are bad enough where like you can still win a game.
Yeah,
like, in Madden,
but
like, it's
Bobby
not gonna be an
Wagner's
issue,
gonna
but,
be
like,
doing unbelievable shit in Madden. That's just not gonna be fair. Like,
that's just annoying. But let's get into our best bets. So, pretty good week last week. Me and Ty cashed out. Ty had the and Will cashed out, but he's on the podcast today. So Will's 4-0 right now. I'm 16-3. We're gonna get into my bet in a little bit. Ty won his Celtics summer league bet. I actually bet that with him. Celtics going crazy. 11-6. Jarny 4-3. He still doesn't bet. Just refuses to bet. Malik 9-5. Both of them are just kind of chilling till football.
yeah,
Ty, me and you got the same bet today. So
I'm actually the Dodgers. Max has Dodgers under 5.5 to game
First five, yeah.
5 innings. They're playing who are they playing? Phillies
Philly.
tonight. Yeah, that's a solid bet. I actually wouldn't bet that on my own myself. I got them for under 5 in the first 5 innings, but that's not the bet I want to take.
oh really?
We're gonna be going to the Yankees game tomorrow.
Yeah.
The Yankees they're playing they're playing the Rays.
The Rays.
Yeah, just
Sabathia on
yeah,
the hump.
just in the spirit of being at the Yankees game, I'm taking the Yankees. Whatever you guys do, take Yankees tomorrow. I think I seen the odds. I don't know if it was like minus 190 or whatever, but I'm
Nah,
not
it's
sure.
not gonna that high. It's probably gonna be like minus 130.
Regardless, take the Yankees. Yankees tomorrow is a lit bet. Go ahead and get the Yankees. They're always a good bet, to be honest. Can't go wrong with the Yankees.
Yep, I respect that. So we're gonna be at the game tomorrow too. If you're somehow at the Yankee game, you want to say what's up? It'll be me and Ty there. Malik and Jarny are doing some other nonsense. They hate baseball, so they don't want to come. But we're gonna be at the Yankees game. But yeah, for my bet tonight, I'm also gonna take the Yankees tomorrow with Ty. But I'm not gonna do that as the podcast bet because the odds aren't out yet. And I don't know. I'm just betting that kind of for fun. I don't want to bet that as like a record bet. But tonight I got the Dodgers Phillies first 5 innings under 5.5 runs. Kind of like a little gimmicky bet, but I think it's gonna win. We have Clayton Kershaw on the hill for the Dodgers, so he's obviously one of the greatest pitchers of our generation. No debating that. And the Phillies are trotting out Zach Eflin, who has like a 3.5 ERA. He's doing pretty good this year. I think this is just too high of a total, 5.5 runs for 2 pretty good pitchers. The Dodgers were playing a late extra innings game last night. I'm sure they're going to be a little bit off, maybe swinging and missing at a couple pitches. And the Phillies off a walk-off win, so I think we might just see a little come-down game from both these guys. 2 pitchers, the total's a little bit too high, 5.5. Hey, even if the final score is 3-2 after 5 innings, we're still going to see that as a win. I'll take that any day of the week. But thank you guys for listening. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at TU SportsPod. We've been advertising a little bit, commenting on like Bleacher Report and stuff like that. So if you guys see one of those comments, say that you checked out the podcast, that'd be really great. Helps out a lot. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you for listening. You could also check us out on SoundCloud, Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. And as always, I'm Brock, and I'm out.
I'm leaking. I'm out.
And I'm Ty, and I'm out.